Hi, this is Lori, and this is my homework for Paul McWhorter's Uno R4 course. This is for lesson 20. In this lesson, we've been asked to redo the homework that we had in lesson 19 and do it using without using a for loop. And so we're flashing red, green, blue sequence, and we're asking the user how many times they want to do that, and allowing it to do that, come back and ask again. And so Paul asked us not to use a for loop, to try to come up with another way of doing that homework. And so pretty sure he's pushing us to try a while loop. But I thought about it for a little bit and thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we didn't use a for loop and we didn't use a while loop to make this homework happen? So that was a little challenge I made for myself to see if I could do the homework without using a for or a while loop. And so that's what I did. All right, so here's the code that I put together to do this. And the basic idea, and I ran into this when I did some projects on my project channel where I was soldering my own Uno kit and doing some music programming with the Arduino. And I learned from some folks who do a lot of that kind of programming, and they often used the void loop itself to do any looping they needed for some of these music applications. And so it got me to thinking, yeah, I'm already looping with the void loop. Can I take advantage of that loop and not use any more looping structures to make it happen? So that's where I kind of got that idea from. So I took all the LED matrix out just to kind of simplify it a little bit. So I'm still very similar to my lesson 19 homework. I'm using num cycles. That's what the user will give me, how many flashes of red, green, blue they want, delay time. And then I had to create another variable called Boolean go to start, and I set that off as true to start. The same setup as we've had before, and I'm still using my RGB LED function to light the RGB LED. And then here's where the magic starts to happen in the void loop. So I don't want to do all that asking of how many cycles you want. You only want to do that when we've finished, either at the very beginning or when we finished doing the number of cycles that the user wanted. So I have to set that aside. So I'm using an if statement to say, if go to start is true, then we're going to go through this and ask the user for the number of cycles. But if it's set to false, then it'll skip this piece and it'll do the flashing. So you can see once you go into this, you're only going to go into it once because it immediately sets it to false. So you won't go back in here again unless something else changes it back to true. All right, so this is all similar to what I had in the lesson 19 homework. So that just gets the number of cycles and makes sure that it's in a range that we think is reasonable. All right, so here, if the number of cycles gets to 0, then I'm going to set go to start true. So then we'll go back and ask the user again. That means we've finished doing the flashing. And then if it's greater than 0, then I want to do a flash on this run through the loop. And so that's all this code does here. And then once we finish that, we'll subtract 1 from the number of cycles. And this is probably what a lot of people did with the while loop as well. You know, you subtract and keep it going. But as I said, not using a while loop, I'm just taking advantage of the fact that in this, sorry for moving around so much, but in this void loop, we're actually looping. And by making sure I set aside this starting stuff, it should work. All right, so that's what I have plugged in here. So let's clear the thing, and we'll just restart it again and get our prompt back. And then we'll just type in, let's do 3, and we should see 3. And then it came back and asked us. Now, if we ask for 0, it's going to say, well, you didn't ask for enough cycles, so you get 1. And you saw one cycle of it flash. And as I did before, I'll just pick another number larger than 25 and it says, hey, you asked for too many, and it sets it to 25. So yeah, so you can loop without doing a for or a while if you take advantage of the void loop itself. Well, that's my homework. Thanks for the great lessons, Paul, and thanks for making me think of trying to do this a different way. That's always fun. And thank you guys for watching.